Old Brainiac, yeah. Late night in the Matrix. We'll be talking about the human soul, my soul, your soul, everybody's soul. May as well just leave it what it is. Our entity, the entity in us. We talked about this before. We are the soul of the body, not a body with a soul. Tonight, again, the human soul and random acts of kindness. It's kind of like this out of the blue. Again, this open line tonight, all night long, here on Wednesday night. If you guys do want to change the topic, or if you want to chime in on the topic, it's a deep topic. It's a deep topic. What is the soul? Where's it come from? Who made it? But nevertheless, I want to specifically hone in on something. You guys all remember back whenever, the pandemic was happening really, really bad and everybody was scared. Now all our friends were getting sick and I got sick. Some friends of mine got sick. But let me tell you something. Something I want to point out to everybody is we all were looking out for one another. We were all like calling and checking and loving on one another, being kind to one another, sharing that just a simple phone call. Are you okay? Are you doing okay? All right. It's what we do. It's how we grow as a soul. I've noticed myself. I can tell you that I've noticed myself. If I was who I was 8 years ago, you probably wouldn't know. You'd know me, but you wouldn't know me. In just in 8 years, I have changed that way, caring about people, loving people, trying to just share my life with them and be able to enjoy their life. You see? I would never have been able to grow like that had I been alone or had I been who I was. Something had to have happened, and it did. My consciousness evolved somehow, and I grew into who I am now. And I love who I am now. And I love who you guys are. All of you who chime into the Matrix. All of you guys who chime in and you are involved in the chat and you are part of my tribe, part of that tribe. Amazing people. Hell, I might not have even actually, had I kept going down the political road, wrapped up with politics, eating it day and night, I'd have probably never got to meet my soul tribe. Hell, who knows? Don't know. No idea. But later on tonight, I do believe, or a little bit later tonight, I do believe Mr. Adam Twister. I call him Tornado. Hopefully he'll chime in on this one. Hopefully you guys decide to jump in on this one too. Tell me a little bit about your experience and your growth. The human soul grows with experience. And that experience, again, can only come with interacting with one another. That's why I named this specific broadcast The Random Acts of Kindness. Because, again, without those random acts of social kindness, we probably would not be who we are today. Buckle up, Brainiacs. Welcome aboard the Matrix Minds List. It's a late night in the Matrix. Right followed up after Rob got here. Hang on, Brainiacs. Let's do this on the other side of things. We'll be right back. Let's go, Brain. Turn it up, man. Yeah. Let's do this. One of the fastest growing talk shows on the internet. Radio show. Welcome aboard the Matrix Minds. One of the most controversial conspiratorial shows I mean web, the Matrix Minds. And that's it. Buckle up, everybody. Let's go. Paranormal, huh? Conspiracy, huh? Ufology, hidden Egyptology, and anything and everything we can get our hands on. Let's go. Welcome aboard. The Matrix Minds. The Matrix Minds. Oh, shit.
Take the blue pills. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole is. All I'm offering is the truth. Stay in Wonderland. All I'm offering is the truth. Stay in Wonderland. All I'm offering is the truth.
Duh! Brainiacs. My, oh my, oh my, oh my. I told you. Mr. Tornado come flying up in here. I told you. I knew it. I told us. Adam, you talk to me on Wednesday. We'll have a nice discussion. We'll have a nice talk. Sure as hell. Guess who come flying from Tornado Alley? Mr. Adam Twister, the Atom Twister. What's up, Atom Twister? Thanks for calling me on this show's topic. Do you want to tell me?
Well, I came up.
Do you want to know what it is, or do you already know what it is? Do you know what the show's topic is?
What are we even talking about now?
The human soul and random acts of kindness, brother man.
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
You guys should go ahead. If you guys are into cars, you should go ahead and watch the Hamilton collection, because that perfectly connects the ideas of cars and random acts of kindness. Right now, they just uploaded a video where, like, he's letting the Instagram guys go ahead and control his life, and the shenanigans are just absolutely hilarious. And the one Instagram guy told him, you should go ahead and take the guy in a ride in a Pagani. So he goes and gets his Pagani, and he just finds some random guy and takes him for a ride.
All right, well, so that's a random act of kindness.
Oh, yeah.
I would reckon.
Well, that's one of many that you took there, but yeah.
I was talking.
Here's another one. And that is, I love all of you very deeply, and you all are very near and dear to my heart.
Would you say that the let me throw something at you, because I was talking about this just prior to you calling the broadcast. Do you remember whenever the COVID was going around, right, and everybody was getting sick? Do you remember getting instant messages and people calling you, or you calling them and talking to them? You're gonna be all right. Calling them and checking on them, and just that random act of caring. Do you remember that? Did you do that? No?
I really, I mean, my life is kind of different from that of a lot of people's. You know, like, the only people that I really have here are my mom and my sister. But the thing is, I just now realized, I was looking to answer that question. I was looking in the physical, as I usually do when someone asks me a question like that. But there's one thing that I remember perhaps above all else, and that is I left my heart with everybody. I always shared in consciousness because I could not share physically given the circumstances. How to go ahead and handle a virus like this. But also, above all else, to have faith. I understood very deeply what was going on in the collective consciousness, both physically and also in consciousness. And so what I did, perhaps above all else, was be the best living example that I possibly could for everybody. Doing what I need to do, keeping my body well maintained, eating right, not going anywhere where red flags go up that, you know, the place might not be safe. I followed my heart very carefully with that. I followed my own body's readings very carefully with that. And I was very careful to not fear. It was very important to me to have faith, and I've been still learning to do that more. I am definitely not perfect, and Monday we saw a demonstration of what happens when I don't set up my consciousness properly, because I was not prepared for what I encountered on Monday. And, well, I said a few things that would probably put me on bonehead light workers of the week. But you know what? I enjoy it. It's a good laugh. And I learned a lot from that. I got straight to work and made some tweaks to my consciousness to where now I can be better at being myself. So.
Yeah, I know what you're referring to. I know what you're referring to, and that's also a lot. Bro, that's got a lot to do with a lot of people accidentally calling in to the show. Like they'll just it used to happen a lot, where I would get random calls, just like, "Hey Matt, what's up? What are we talking about?" Wait. You didn't read the topic? You have no idea what we're talking about.
Yes.
You know,
Manic Monday. It says "Rise Above the Poli-Tricks."
Right.
Have you even updated the title?
Of course I've updated the title.
Wait a minute. Okay,
oh,
so
no, not this one, no. So you're telling me that okay, so what must be going on? Yeah, man, it should have been updated.
I'm on YouTube.
I know.
I'm on YouTube, man.
Well, that's okay.
Let me refresh the
YouTube,
page.
BoobTube, whatever. Yeah, the title of the stream should be the human consciousness or the human soul and random acts of kindness.
Yeah, it says the human soul and the random acts of kindness. I see the image there. I was looking at the video title that's underneath the thing, but yeah, I see it.
See, that's the thing.
I knew that
go ahead. Say a lot of people though, they called the show and they're like, well, they just go off and they're like, well, what are we talking about? Well, wait a minute. If you ain't got a clue as to what we're talking about, what the hell what do you want to talk about? Because I'm not gonna go back and go backtrack and think. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
but
my goodness.
nevertheless,
and that's the thing. I had a person who was, I talked about what happened with the Greys and the instances where a lot of the UFO instances, Roswell was one of them, but there were actually many, many more. And what happened was one of these craft that had been accidentally knocked down by the military's radar, and they found human body parts on that craft. When they realized that the radar was knocking these craft down, they started shooting down more of them. And because it was interfering with the gravity dampening system or something like that on the craft. And so then someone in the Enlightenment Evolution Hour chat where I had shared this, was like, your proof? And the problem with that, I don't believe things without proof. But the thing is that I would have to go back a long way because I did the work with that years ago. And it was a lot of work, like a lot of sleuthing to really get to understand all that. I don't have time or the infrastructure in a chat where I can only put 200 characters at a time to spell it out for somebody. So they'd have to go figure that out for themselves. And I would recommend to everybody to go ahead and follow your own heart. The reality where that takes place might not even be for you. So if it doesn't resonate with you, then leave it behind.
Right.
But if it does, go look into it. So it's up to you. You've got to go ahead and follow your own excitement with all this stuff, and then you'll be right where you want to be. The story of the Greys, though, is really interesting because I've been very connected to them, sharing all the stuff that I've worked on because they could rebuild their reproductive system with what we've built over at Tat City.
Can I ask you something?
In fact, yeah.
All right, so you're going to be one of them callers. I love you, but what the hell does this got to do with random acts of kindness and the human soul?
It doesn't have to do directly with that. It had to do with what you said that
All
led
right.
me to say this.
Okay, so but I'm all right. So we're switching topics. Okay.
Well, we'll go
you
back.
you just need to let me know what the hell we're talking about, because I'm trying to.
Oh, I remember now. Because you mentioned how like the people call into the show and they don't know, what you're talking about, and you're not going to backtrack. And
Right.
I was sharing my own story of having to backtrack and not being in any position to do that.
Okay.
know
I'm
what
trying to
you're
figure out where
That's
what
why
you.
I shared that.
All right, I got you. All right.
I wasn't even sure I was going to remember that at all.
It's good. You're good. It's just I needed to know what road you were going down there, bro. I'm also let me. I'm gonna ask Mr. Lee Grantham in the chat something. What to kind of like. I did not fart. That was my mouth. Let me know exactly what I don't understand what Lee Grantham was like dropped in the chat. He's like, Matt, I'm angry. I have grandchildren to protect, and this world as it stands will not let me do this. I don't quite know what you're talking about, Lee, bro. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I do have a little bit of tip for you if you want. So, the world is your own higher self reflecting yourself back to yourself. So if you let go of any parts of your consciousness that are planted in the idea of living in a world that's hostile to you doing what you want to do and doing what you need to do, in a way you're fighting yourself, because reality is consciousness. So your reality is your consciousness. I was just sharing with Shalanima that what it's like to be human, what it's like to be me, is basically to split your consciousness into two pieces and experience a portion of your consciousness, that being the lower self. And then the other piece, I'm not even completely sure what that's doing. I can barely feel it. I can only feel parts of my higher self. I'm only aware of so much. And so that makes it so that the idea of instantly co-creating what I want, firstly, I've got some beliefs to let go of to be able to do that. And secondly, I need to get back in touch with the rest of my consciousness. But there is something that you can do without understanding what it's doing, and that means the rest of your reality, because, again, reality is consciousness. So the key to living a world that is not hostile to you, protecting your grandchildren, is believing in that world to not fight you. You have to accept that as a possibility. If you change that belief even just a little bit, if you open up to being able to protect your grandchildren, you'll be able to do so quite a bit more so. The more you open up to living that life, the more easily you'll be able to live it. It's all about faith.
That is something that we've been, that ideal there has been tossed around through the religions for eons, right? But it's also been misrepresented in the religions.
Yeah, religion and faith are two different things. The heart of Jesus' message was one of faith. He never wanted Christians per se, as Bashar so beautifully said. Jesus wanted Christ, not Christians. He wanted people to do what he did, to learn what he learned, because he was one with God. He was one with Source. He had integrated that significantly into his experience. He wanted us to do the same, and he believed in us to do so, and he still does believe in us to do. Greater miracles than I have achieved, you will achieve. And the very fact, us as an expression and reflection of Jesus' own consciousness, the very fact that we have not left the idea of the faith that he shared behind indicates that he co-created successfully. He truly does believe in us. Otherwise, we would have truly and completely left that behind.
Oh, yeah. Barbara says, I ask my higher self for help all of the time. And there's nothing wrong with that, Barbara. There's nothing wrong with that at all, to ask for guidance in your life. I mean, a lot. Well, here's this kick. Check this. So Christopher Peoples comes in here, right?
Only collective creativity.
Yeah. And here's the thing. He'll tell you if you really and there are those many of them in the group that have got an entourage of, well, we all do, to be honest with you. We all entertain angels, as the Bible would say. We have our ancestors. We have an entourage of workers and helpers and guides and things. It's like it's not. That's what I'm saying. We're absolutely not set up to fail. Okay, we are not. We are co-creators. We're little gods, man. Christopher says.
Well, we are. Christopher says.
Yeah, it only takes Source between 5 and 15 minutes to get me from being unable to know how to get somewhere at school to having somebody that gets me there. Random act of kindness. And it's another funny thing when that person believes similar things as to what I do. Absolutely, Chris. That's cool shit right there. Absolutely cool.
That's a good response time. Being able to, set a direction and then, be on that heading 15 minutes, have yourself set up for that. That's pretty good. You have to be very open to be able to co-create that quickly. Not a lot of humans can do that.
Lee Grantham says, Matt, at this point, I feel that the government, has all of the control, and we as a family have none because they make us depend on them. Well, hang on. Let's talk about this for a second, okay? Because this is a good example of you being here now, Lee. I'm serious. You being here now. The human acts of kindness, okay? You've been here many times on the show. You have heard me from day one. I guarantee it. You have never, if you can bring me to one of my own broadcasts where I was really, really serious, okay, really serious about politics, I will give you $50 because I cannot find one. I don't know of one. I don't have one. I make fun of this system like it makes fun of you and I, and would like to, what you said, would like to control us. Become the uncontrollable. No one can control you. No one can control you at all. Only you. You see me. I don't want anything bad to happen to anybody on that side of the timeline. I know you know what I'm saying. I'm not calling you out especially just Lee. Okay, I'm saying anybody. I don't want nothing bad to happen to anybody on that timeline. But I'm not there. Therefore, I stay on the other side of the fence and I just point at it, prod at it, poke at it, laugh at it. These are the people that on that side of the fence that hear me, hear Adam, hear Chris, hear Jack Roberts, hear Lisa, hear you, Lee, or anyone else say, please don't buy into that bullshit. That's all it is. It's bullshit. Random acts of bullshit. They don't have control over you. They don't have any power over you. You've heard me say before. If anybody, put it this way, if anybody was to have the feds knock on their door, it would be me. I promise you, it would be me. And they have not yet knocked on that door. And even if they did, I would probably grab them by their nose and ask them if they were real. I've got many Fed friends, many Fed friends. And they're all on the same page as you and as me. They know that the matrix system is collapsing. They understand that the truther community, the light workers community, the starseeds community, they're creating the reality that they choose. That's where we're at. So the time to make a choice would have been like months and months ago. I want to probably say years ago, but it doesn't matter. You're here now. Give up that thought that they control you. They don't control you. They would like you to believe that they control you, but they don't control you. Adam, I cannot make Adam jump. I cannot make Adam sing. I can't make Adam do anything that he doesn't want to do. I'm the big government. Adam, jump. He's not going to jump if he doesn't want to jump. You're a human being.
I just did.
Oh, Jesus. You're a human being with a powerful entity in you. You're a soul with a body, not a body with a soul. You control the body. Ouch.
Yes, it goes. Anyway, what I'm going to express is this idea actually goes even deeper. It's more than just, that the government doesn't control you. The government literally is you. It's reflecting you. It's your own higher self reflecting yourself back to yourself. It shows you in that way what your consciousness is doing, because the lower self directs the higher self. The higher self is your automatic consciousness. It's your reflection and expression, and it's also your medium for adventure. So what you do is you go ahead and you choose what to experience on the level of your lower fractal consciousness, and your higher fractal consciousness will then immediately set you up for that. So you have to learn all the choices that you're making, all the ways in which you're believing. Belief is much like a conducting rod that directs the higher self around. So when you believe that the government is going to suppress you, guess what you're going to co-create?
An amazing creation. You're going to create that which resonates with your thought.
So what you can do with this is pay very close attention to your own consciousness, to all of the moments in which you co-create, and pay attention to all the little details of what your reality is. Do this without any bias, with a complete level of neutrality and objectiveness. And also pay very close attention to your own beliefs in that moment. And if this is one thing that you can do, you don't have to do this, but you can, is write that down. Write down the moments where, in moments where you have certain beliefs and where your reality does certain things. Pay close attention to make sure that you're not tricking yourself into thinking that you believe something that you don't actually believe. In other words, lying to yourself. Truly believe something is another story from, thinking you believe it, but actually fearing the worst. So having a very high level of self-awareness is really paramount to this. Then as you do this, you can draw the connection on your own. Hence, I said specifically that I do not believe things without proof. All the things that I'm sharing here, I have tested. I've tried this stuff. I have proven it. This stuff works, but all of you have to do this yourself. I'm just a reflection at the end of the day. This is your consciousness. I'm a part of you. The government is a part of you. Matt is a part of you. Your house or your apartment and everything in it, and the world itself, and even the universe is your consciousness. So you choose in that way what you want to experience, but you have, whether you integrate that knowing into yourself or not is up to you, but it's always there for
you. Twister, let me read what Lee wrote, because I'm trying to keep an eye on what he's saying in the chat. He says, "Dude, I have followed you for a long while, or followed you for a while. You have our best interest at heart, but the elites always seem to have control. You connected me back to my mom a while back, and I thank you for that, bro. I thank you for allowing me to be part of that experience. You did it. It took you. It took you, and it took her." Let's talk for a second about that, Lee. Okay, I was only a part of that experience. You connected me back to my mom. I didn't. You did. You've had to have had a want or a need to have that happen. Or mom may have had a want or a need to have that happen. I was just part of that experience by way of you, if that makes any sense. I knew nothing of this. Do you see what I'm saying? You brought me into it and made me part of that experience by saying I helped you reconnect to mom or her connect to you, when really you did it your own soul self. You see, what Twister is trying to say here is, this is why I will sit right here in front of you and tell you, you are a very powerful entity, and the world is scared shitless of you whenever you come to a darkness and say, move. When you come to a darkness and you tell it to move and you have no fear, it has got to listen to you. Why do you think there's people switching timelines? Okay? They don't want any part of an old system. Am I right or am I wrong, Twister? They want no part of it. You probably don't.
Well, there's a lot to go into detail with that, but
You
I
know
just
what I'm
don't
saying,
have-
right?
I know what you're saying, and yeah, the idea that all of you are source. Yeah, you are.
We have had
You're curious.
enough, Lee. We have had enough. And this is what I'm trying to say. We, those of us, all 22 of us. Let me point this one out right real quick. Many of you guys have seen because I've got it 3 times today. I got a meme sent to me, and it has got what is the name of that little guy? Oh my God, he was caught with Oprah Winfrey. A little teeny tiny meme of oh God, it was a light worker, starseed teacher, and he was caught with Oprah Winfrey. I'm like, wow, no, now, well. My wife says, oh, that's it. Eckhart Tolle was caught with Oprah Winfrey. And I'm like, and my wife said, well. She's like, well, no wonder. I thought it was real. I'm like, I got to thinking, I'm real. I'm a real person. Adam Twister's a real guy. All of you up here in the Sprainiac chat, Christopher Peebles, real guy. Peggy, real person, right? I wonder why on YouTube, real people are not really exonerated, and why we're not really, we're like, I don't know, sheltered. We're like that little hedge. You know what I'm saying? We're kept censored, or we're kept whatever. Why? Is it because we're real? We're real people. We're not just something that someone wants to throw out there as a way, the truth, the light, and the way. No, we're real. I'm real. What Adam Twister is talking about is real. You already heard him. I heard him say it twice. I'm not going to tell you anything that didn't happen to me, and you've heard me say it too. I'm not going to blow smoke in your ass either. I'm not going to tell you something that I don't know that is true. There you have it. Keep going, Adam. Where are you at? What are you thinking right about now?
I'm thinking about oneness. It's it's kind of a strange thing to word here for some, but the basic idea that I operate with, I don't even really order the darkness around at all. I see it as just a part of me, and I just live my life at my leisure. I don't even really have to ask it to move. It just moves. I don't want to co-create it.
I do.
It's an interesting thing because I don't really, I almost never clash with the darkness. And, that's just a very deep unconditional love for all things. And I have so deep of a faith in myself to co-create what I need to co-create that I just do it. So I don't really have any issues with, the governments or any malevolent entities or stuff like that. I even sometimes connect with them, and I share the idea of oneness. There's a lot I could share with that. There's a whole lot to go into detail with all this stuff. And I should note, by the way, having said what I just said here, I am not type 1. I am not 100%. I do have some instances where if you really look at my consciousness, you will find instances of lack of faith in a few areas. If you find those, please let me know about them, because I will let go of them. That will be very helpful to me. And if you want to go look at the time where I came in on Monday. You'll highlight some areas. I found quite a few and cleared those up. I had some incorrect beliefs about Matt here.
Oh, God. It's okay.
Yeah, so he is not the negative Nancy. I kind of thought that he was.
No, I'm not.
No, not really.
I am not the negative Nancy. No. Oh, Lord, no. No, sir.
I figured that out pretty quickly, but, at the time, Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting thing. I learn from my experiences a lot, and I do some bonehead things along the road. And then I go look back, almost can't look, but then I have a good laugh. And then, of course, again, it's funny. It is funny, at least from my perspective. I know if you guys are not me, sometimes you might not be able to get the jokes. If you're me, then you understand why I find it so funny.
Christopher's like, Matt's just a monumentous moderate. I don't quite know what he means by that, but I don't know. I'm just me. I mean, I am just me. I want the best for everybody. I try nowadays in no matter what situation I'm put in, I try always to even no matter how damn dark it is in the worlds around me that's presented to me, I always try to step back for a minute, look and see how I can add my creative thought to the given situation. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't look at it as doom and gloom anymore. I look at it as I am the solution to a problem, regardless of what the problem is. Now, I know that may sound egotistical, everybody, but I'm not trying to be egotistical. I'm literally trying to say that I feel like I am the solution, okay, to the problems around me. Why? Is because it's my world. I told you, this is my matrix. Outside of this, I can't see Adam. I can't see you, Tina, or Peggy, or anyone else in here. This is my world. This is the world around me. So if I see something wrong, the solution is inside of me. Does this make sense?
Yeah, you've made me a part of your own consciousness, but if you want to see what my world is like, in some ways you already are, because you tap into elements of my own consciousness as we go ahead and co-create here. And you're welcome to go ahead and take a look at the rest of my world and see what that's like. To become a thing is to know a thing. To assume its form is to understand its existence. One of my favorite quotes, by far.
Lisa Thomas says, because Janus runs this realm, everything wrapped around number 11, portals and arches. Let me say something real quick in reference to Lisa dropping what she just dropped and the name Janus. Okay, everybody knew and knows that. I'm gonna say this really at low key, and if James gets an opportunity to watch this segment, I'll tell him his own self. I once thought in my world that it was what he said he was. Well, in the astral side of things, Lisa, pay attention. In the astral side of things, okay, Janus was known and portrayed as the two-faced god, okay? The son of Marduk, brother of Enlil and Ea. Let me share with you. I once took the head off of Janus, and how I did that was in the astral plane. And I literally looked at him in the astral, in that experience, and I said, I thought that you were a god. As he tried to come at me to hurt me, I took his head off, clean off of his body. Now, what happened in doing that? An astral kicker, being astral, if something happens to you, okay? If something happens to you on the astral side of things, yeah, sorry, the I don't know, the switchboard kind of just shut down for a minute. On the astral side of things, okay? If you get hurt there, your physical entity will feel pain. Your physical entity will actually feel something, okay? So knowing what I just told you, I don't know because I am no longer in contact with James Harper, okay? Last message from him to me was remove all of my content from your website, or you can deal with Dawn's lawyer, I shit you not. That was the last message that I got from him. So me, I'm just like, okay, not a problem. Bye-bye. I've done nothing to, this is what I'm saying. I've done nothing to anybody. I try to help people. And I'm usually the one that gets run over by a doormat, like a doormat. So again, I met I met him in astral form and literally took his head off. So if something's wrong with him now, if he's sick, I don't know. Do I care? I do care. I do care. But I'll also say he is not in my world who he says he is. Or I would not have been able to take the head right off of a god. There's the simple end of the story. If you are a creator god of that realm and this, all of this blah blah blah, then how could a little lower level entity like my own little self, right, take your head off? Impossible. It would not have happened. So
our true essence is source. In that way, we all have the same infiniteness. Why Aradif says to look at him as an equal rather than as a higher.
Yeah, Peggy says he goes by a different name now. Yes, he does. But he'll always be James Harper to me. Ain't that some shit? I care not. I don't care if he's Joe Dirt. He'll always be James Harper to me. Just like Adam Twister will always be Adam Twister. Peggy will always be Peggy. Mr. Percy Littleton will always be my big lovable black dude that's got his ass kicked by a wife that loves him dearly. Get in bed, Berthy. Get your ass in the other room now. Get your ass in the other room now. Sit down, shut up, and lay down. Oh, look, I had to like find some levity because that was getting too deep. But there again, random acts of kindness. I've got to try to keep things at, you know what I'm saying, low key, not so chaotic, because the world around is all. Percy just said, whatever, Matt. Bro, you know damn straight. She, I won't even have her put you in your place. She will, just like my girl will put me in my place. I don't ever want to come across like I am better than anybody or anybody's better than me. To be honest with you, I've always have been that person where you treat me the way I want to be treated and I'll treat you the same way. I have always been like that. Right? This goes that's a moral thing by human standards, is it not? I'm going to treat Adam the way I want to be treated. And Adam's going to do the same. But see, here's the thing. I'm getting out of Adam and have for a while now. Is Adam totally looks at you, totally looks at me. I even want to believe that Christopher. I would love to talk to Chris up here on the show. But I believe that the majority of the brainiacs in here, we all truly care about one another enough to know that if I'm having a bad day and if I vent out at you, Adam, you're going to know it's not truly me. It's just I've had a bad day, something's going wrong. And my odds are now, I know you now well enough to say you're probably going to ask me if you can do something to help me fix it. I could totally see you doing that. Is there something I can help you with?
More likely, I probably already am.
Right? I mean, because we all have these days. We all have these bad days from time to time. We all do. I am not perfect, but I can tell you this: whenever I've had a nice long talk with Source, listen for a minute. My talk with Source was a lot like Tammy and everybody else up in here is like Tammy Bonham's like, well, I thought we create our own reality. Here's the key to that. Hi, Marty Slater. We do. Okay? We really, really, really do. To what degree?
The source is to talk to your true essence.
Bingo. To all viability, wholeness, we are the isness that we truly are. That is it. We are it. That is it. I know that the mind, sometimes the mind can't even grasp what the hell I'm saying, but I'm telling you from what I realize after astral projection, after studying religion, after I couldn't tell you how many past life regressions that I've done, where the soul literally will tell you, you are it. You're it. That is it. Where you would go back to, you are also part of. It is part of you. There is no distinction between the two. You are it and it is you. You are all of the totality. It is you and it is, that is it. I can't explain it any better. The soul literally doesn't know no difference.
There's one thing I want to share with that. It's not so sure how wise it is to share this. Looking at my own heart. All right, so let's see. There's I really want to share this. I've already done that once. I don't really want.
What do you want to share? Just spit it out.
All right, you said it. Just spit it out. All
spit
right,
it
I'm
out.
gonna do it. So, one thing I really, one thing I do a lot, and this goes with beings everywhere, and type 1 beings. So I actually like to go ahead and look at the idea of 4 teams. There's the green team, the blue team, the yellow team, and the red team. The blue team are the good guys. This analogs to the type 2 benevolent beings. The yellow team are the neutral guys, the type 2 neutral. The red team are the bad guys, the malevolent type 2s. And the green team are the type 1s. So I bring this up because the green team, what they do is they give their support to all. They love and support everybody, the blue team, the yellow team, and the red team alike. The reason they do this is because they believe so deeply, not just in their own ability to co-create whatever they want, but in everybody else's ability to co-create whatever they want, because they recognize the oneness in all things. They recognize that everybody and everything at its core is source, and therefore has absolute free will. Now, absolute free will means you can literally experience and do whatever you want without restriction. Just as you shared, you have the ability to choose what you experience, all the way down to the finest detail, what physics you operate by, what the characters in the story are, who the characters in your story are, and all the different happenings, everything you choose. And so when you have that kind of power, hold on a minute, the way I'm going with this isn't working. So there's one rule that I have when sharing with someone. If you want to go ahead and show them what they're looking for, you don't show people what they're doing wrong, you show them the right way. Show them what they're doing wrong, they feel bad about themselves. I've been on the receiving end of that. Let's see. What's the way to do this?
I guess it's
is to love all things. Huh?
I said, I guess that's kind of like saying the word, do you understand? That is like, kind of like, that's like dissing someone. And versus saying something like that, I try to get their, so I know where they're at. Say, do you follow what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. I totally understand what you're saying.
I'm learning from my mistakes on Monday.
Oh, bro, it's okay. Listen, man, I am one of the most. I am literally one of the most understanding people. A host that you'll get. I don't care what your belief is. I don't care what you feel about me, how you feel about me, any of that. We are all creating this together. And if you like me, you like me. If you don't, well then, I don't know what to tell you. That's just who I am.
Oh, I love
You
everything.
do you know what I mean?
I love everything. I love you, and I love me, and I love Chris, and I love
But-
everybody in the chat.
All right,
Speaking
but
of
do
the
you
chat,
understand what I'm saying? Do you get? You know what I mean?
You're
Okay,
bulletproof.
dude. It's like I don't. Yeah, I don't care whether you do or you don't. I would love for you to. I would love for you to like me and let's create together and blah 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 blah. But if you don't choose to,
I'm
then I
excited
don't
to
give
do
a
that.
shit. I really don't. That's just who I am now. I don't know what to say.
So what I'm trying to ultimately share is how important it is to be loving to all things, to not shun anything or to berate anything or to be mean to anything. Because to be mean to anything, you're really being mean to a part of yourself. So, because ultimately everything is your own higher self reflecting yourself back to you. So sometimes with all of the beings that I've connected to, I've shown them how to get what they're looking for, even the malevolent ones. And the reason why I do that is because I have faith in everybody to be able to co-create whatever they want to co-create. And since in that aspect, nothing that exists in your reality is there in a way that goes beyond your choice. In other words, everything in your reality is there for your choosing. And by the way, creation cannot be any other way, because if it were, there would be experiences left behind. And the symbol of source would not be absolutely pure white. Since it is, we know for a fact that nothing is left behind. The only way that can be is for free will to be absolute. So with all that said, I know in experience sometimes if you don't know what you want, but you think you want something, and this is what happens with so many people that find their way onto the red team, if you get the thing that you think you want, and the movie Megamind shows this very clearly, it's going to be fulfilling, unlike the thing that you truly want. And a lot of guys on the red team are learning this the hard way. They get all the money and all the power, but then they have no friends, no love. And it was always the love that drove them all the time. And they lost sight of that. Sometimes it's in some mission of vengeance, or sometimes it's coming from a state of having given up on the world after they co-created the world to giving up on them and stuff like that. And this is why love is such an important thing. You are unloving, even to the bad guys. You know, that lack of love leads the bad guys to be bad in the first place. So, and they're ultimately an expression of a lack of love in your own self. So when you learn to unconditionally love all things, that will clear up a huge amount of a lot of the negativity here on this world. People are the expression of your consciousness, and if you truly believe in them, you'll bring out the best in them, because that is what you are being. And I got to experience this when Julio R. Ra was on the Enlightenment Evolution Hour, and I've been experiencing this more and more on the EEH. People over there have done a fantastic job finding themselves, and I can feel it just recognizing what I'm being as an expression of them. For them to be able to co-create me and the rest of the people in the chat so open and sharing so much means that they themselves have to be open and loving. For if they were judging, for us in the chat to be able to co-create that, we would have to be carrying some kind of fear. And therefore, when you or me are open or are judging and we're closed, we're not going to be able to co-create people being themselves. So we have to go ahead, if we want to really experience the very best world that we possibly can, we have to unconditionally love everybody, be there for everybody. We won't be able to physically do that for everybody, but for as long as there's a simple energy in the heart there, go.
Okay, I gotta chime in on something here real quick. But yes, I agree with everything that you just said, literally. So my brother Lee Grantham was gonna go. He's like, I'm out of here. I gotta go. Which I knew you weren't going to go anywhere. he says, but they never tell us the truth, and that we have to search for it. And what kind of life is that to live? Just tell us the truth. Well, let me share
The
with.
heart is the temple to all truths.
Oh, see.
Heart is a temple of all truths. So go ahead and follow that, and you'll find everything you need, and it won't even take all that long. That's what I did.
Here's the key, okay? If you really good night, Miss Yvonne. Miss Yvonne's going to bed. This is put it this way. This is key. If you remember whenever I and I didn't mean to. I got mad. I got mad and I blocked Kenny. Everybody's like left. Matt killed Kenny. I did. I literally did. I blocked Kenny. I'm done. And I did that because I got told over not just once but twice that I don't like him and that I hate that he's a Christian. Ouch. That
Ouch,
look.
indeed.
Ouch. I grew up believing that structure of way of life probably almost all of my life, okay? I'm 48 right now, and I only fell out of that victim. I say victim because that's just the way it is. That modality of thinking probably almost going on now almost 13 years ago. Okay? I would never, ever, ever say I hate anybody. You can believe whatever you want to believe. The way I structure my world now, it doesn't matter. Because I now know what he believes is completely okay. What Yvonne believes is, I love you too, good night, is completely okay. What anybody and everybody believes, it is okay. Source does not really give a shit what you believe. And the key, Lee, the key to understanding that is inside of you. If you want to, we played the most fabulous game of hide and seek that there ever was. If you want a true love story, you are it. You love yourself enough. I loved myself enough to separate myself in a quadrillion billion endless amount of fragments to search for myself in you. I am an aspect of you. You are an aspect of me. That's it. Okay? You are so huge on the source giving side of things. You could not wholly put yourself in one body, okay? I am part of you, like me or not. I do love you, Lee. I do love the fact that we are all trying to get along, but it's very, very hard to even fabricate the mind saying, even my enemy is part of me. But this is true. Even our enemy is soul source. Even our enemy is part of your soul's source. Don't ever forget that, because it's true. They breathe the same breath that you breathe. They are part of your existence and your experience. Source wouldn't have it any other way. It's a game of go hide and seek. Go find the love within someone that you think that doesn't love. It's there. There's love there. There is. It's there.
There is indeed. A lot of, even those guys that are being so unloving have that love deep within them. They've just lost sight of it. Now, there's actually a few things I want to go ahead and touch on. You mentioned that Source does not care, what you believe. The thing is that with any version of belief missing from creation, Source would be incomplete. Everything has to be. And since linear time is not fundamental, things are not going anywhere. Everything, all experience, it all exists, and the existence of everything is absolute. therefore, your loved ones, anybody who the road's not taken, in other words, that's not going anywhere either. You can always go ahead and relive this life and take the road that you didn't take if you want.
I don't know if you're going to agree with me or not, but I had the opportunity to channel to Melissa for a little bit, and I really remember consciousness telling her that source does not, creation does not make a mistake. If you are here, you are not here by mistake. You are here for purpose, and you are here for a reason. That is it. Creation does not make a mistake. There is no flaw. No flaw. Does not need your fixable help. It already is. It's already done, and it is not perfect. It does not make a mistake.
There's a little thing I want to go ahead and note here, because there's a little side effect that can come from this exact way of looking at things that can become a source of limitation. And it's the belief that, everything is the way it is. It has to do with a way of things being fixed there because of belief. Everything is the way it is. It wasn't a mistake. I'm speaking of mistakes, I'm making one. What did I just say not long ago? I said, you have to show me of the right way, the wrong way. Ways all work. This is just that happens with this build. Anyway, let me go ahead and show my approach to this. And the idea with this is all things are. With my own resistance, I've lost sight of what it was. Let me ask you a question. What could I do better about what I'm trying to share right now, in case you noticed something?
You can just open your mouth and speak and let source speak.
All right. So, where was I? This is a Zoom meeting. I'd play my chimes right now.
No, bro, don't do that. So get a load of this.
No, it
this
won't sound good over the phone.
Here's the thing. Where we are at as a collective consciousness is I'm watching. I just responded to Lee. Lee's like, I am my own source that will protect my own until the end. You would do the same for your own. We are the one. This is the thing. Versus seeing. This is why let me share this with you, Lee. This is why this show split off. Okay, I will not take you guys down the same road of the bullshit, doom and gloom propaganda hate machine. Okay, my timeline is not on that side of things. Okay, I already see that your world has got problems. My world has got issues as well. But I can tell you that I already see that source has got a solution to the problem. Okay? I already see that it doesn't matter. Like here's my fight with Kenny. Let's back up the trolley for a minute. One of my problems with Kenny was him preaching all the time, New World Order. No, wait. Let's talk about versus sharing what it is and what it was, okay? And start talking about what it is, what it was, as past tense, okay? I'm no longer screaming at the top of my lungs, the house is on fire, okay? We've already done that. We've already done that. Now we need to take what voice we've got left, get the hell off of the roof, go down to the ground, and start singing with everybody that we helped get out of the house. Do you see what I'm saying? The day of screaming your fucking head off that the end of the world is coming, the cabal has got everybody's money. The cabal is going to harness up all of our children and sacrifice them, cut our heads off for being all of the shit, all of the doom and gloom. I have heard it all, I promise you. But I'm telling you one thing, okay? You are the one in control of your reality. You are the one in control of your belief. You are the one that's literally, this is what I'm saying. I should literally have a lecture on creating your day. Because I'm telling you, it's about an hour or more. Just talking about you having the power inside of you that creates worlds. That is it. If you really, really, really want to know what they were hiding, it's that you are a badass creator. Okay? That's it. And there's really no one stopping you from doing that. Nor is there really anyone stopping me from doing that. Tammy Bonham, the word manifestation of your own creation. The word manifestation is real. Creation, we know, is real. I mean, they know it. If you really, really want the truth, they know it. And they also know that you've been on a venture all of your life. And you've got it. You've got a beat. Come down off the rooftop and start singing with everyone else on the ground. It's okay. It is okay. Don't buy into the bullshit. It is all right. And I'm not doing like Larry Hawkins says, and I'm like blowing Skittles out my winged horse ass. I'm not doing that either. I'm telling you that it's going to be okay. My timeline is okay. Now, mind you, I have a bad day from time to time. Sometimes I get my ass right back in bed and I roll over and I get back up. I don't go back to bed. I roll over and I do it again. I get back up again after I've already had a prep talk with myself. Stub your toe on the way to the bathroom. It happens. It's not the end of the day. It's okay. No matter what it is, it's going to be all right. Think of it this way. You're going to be all right, or you're going to be all right. Regardless, it's going to be all right. I'm sorry, Adam. I didn't mean to get on a rant here.
Oh, it's fine.
Christopher Peebles says, source leading me a guide at school for 15 minutes. Oh, there you go. Chris, he's talking more about sending him a guide at school because he's blind. He needed someone to help him at school. 15 minutes later, boom, someone's there to help Chris. Barbara Borchers.
Yeah, this stuff works.
Manifestation of energy.
What?
You manipulate. Yes. You manipulate energy. If that is anything that you came here to learn, by God, let that be it. We are manipulators of energy.
It's your consciousness. The reality is literally your consciousness. So, of course, if you choose to go experience something else and do just that expresses itself here in your reality. I really wish that we could invite Aradif. Maybe we can do that. If there's enough desire to co-create in the collective consciousness, and the collective is an expression of your reality. If y'all want to go ahead and invite Aradif down here, go ahead and place an intent to go ahead and co-create his arrival, and he can come.
You got to be kidding me. I wouldn't. Okay, I wasn't anticipating this one, but that would be interesting. I've talked with him with Rob, but never.
He can share this stuff better than I can.
Absolutely, man.
Exactly.
He's more than welcome
Yeah.
to be part of this, because again, this random acts of kindness, coming from a completely different world, completely different reality, and a completely different the psychology of the society is completely different, but it's the same on a completely different level of vibrational frequency.
Different. Really is an understatement. I've been able to tune my consciousness to Aradif's world and to really experience it fully. Don't think of reality like we do. They understand so deeply that their reality is their consciousness that they play with it more like it's pure imagination, like pure thought. And in that way, they can go explore whatever themes they want to without limitation. And their own minds are so deeply acclimated to that limitlessness that to go ahead and the idea of thinking something into fruition is just that. They're so used to the idea of doing that, they just do it. And it happens. Because they understand that it's part of their consciousness in a very, very deep way.
So Christopher Peeble says, greetings. We express to you that you are love, and secondly, that we have the greatest excitement to connect with you in this way. What would you have us do if we landed here? And how many of you guys remember playing Duke Nukem? Do you remember that? I said, let's kick ass and chew bubble gum. Welcome aboard, my friend.
So actually, I would address that question to all of you, Matt, and everybody in the chat. If Ardif were to arrive here, how would you like that to play out?
There again, I don't see my world. I personally don't see my world the way some of the people in the chat do. So what would I do with him? I don't quite know what they drink or they really eat, but I personally would say, let's have a bonfire and chug back a nice dark ale or a brew and talk about the endless creation that we have got the ability to do. We have it.
You would really get to feel that. You would get to experience that. Because to experience him, you yourself have to be an expression of his consciousness. You would feel your higher self or parts of you guiding the shifting process. And as you execute that, you would really feel in an extremely deep way, perhaps in a way similar to when you took all that DMT, except it would be far more tangible. You would really get to appreciate this in a mental way. It would be a very, very, very powerful experience. Especially if you decide to go all the way, and when you actually get to meet his consciousness, oh my goodness, it would really bring substance to the saying, there is no life I know to compare with pure imagination.
Well, let's refer to this one. Let's kick this one around. Okay, did Christ not say, "Be like little children"? What is the one thing that a child has? One big ass imagination. We are to be like little children and live in life and learn and love and share like little children. Think about that. Think about what I just said. That's true. So continuing on, right? Christopher's like, maybe Ardif, letting the higher self pilot your plane for you like it's your chauffeur, and you are just letting it take you in the direction or to the destination, whether you see whether you're going or not. It is trusting the higher self. You must trust, again, Ardif, whoever said this, okay? Let me say that right there is where I'm trying to guide Lee and a lot of other people. You've got to really, truly, truly, this is what I guess if to all of the Christians out there that I want you to really, really take in what Christopher just said. If you truly, truly, truly believe that it is in God's hands, then that is all you need to know. Okay? It is in God's hands. It's going to be all right. You're going to be all right. Because again, it is like literally, it's having faith. Just like Chris said, God is your chauffeur with an unknown destination, whether you see where you're going or not. You've got to trust in your soul self. You've got to. That right there, Chris. Thank you for saying that. Ardif, Chris, whoever said that. That is a badass little paragraph right there. That means a lot right there. Alexa Jameson says they will know your every thought. Yes, if you are pure or if you are in a battle with your own programmed soul self. I added that soul self, but that's true.
Hey,
go ahead.
And you're absolutely right, Alexa. They don't you go by AJ around here?
Alexa, AJ, yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, but anyway, but yes, and again, all the ETs, they're all different. But Ardif, see, this is one question that I have for Ardif: is what is it like to, how does he connect to us? Because I have difficulty sometimes, connecting to people. There's certain nuances in the consciousness with respect to knowing of thyself and elements of faith, because I'm working to be type 1, and Ardif is probably the biggest mentor that I have. And by the way, I want to go ahead and give special thanks to Rob for being part of my own reality and for being the, not thinking of the exact word, but he was he played we all know he's the channel of Ardif, and in that way he loosely brought us together. I know he's an expression of our consciousness meeting, but I'm very grateful to have Rob as a part of
Rob is Robbie and Angel. I love them, man. I truly do. I've got to get Kalina. I've got to get Kalina up on the show and introduce her to the Brainiacs. And the Brainiacs all introduced them to her, because they are a very cool little family. Very cool family.
I've been connected to them myself, and it's just as fruitful connecting to them as it is connecting to Treb and Ardif.
Listen. Hang on for 1 second. I didn't mean to cut you off, but let me say something real quick, because Lee asked me somewhere up in here. He's having problems. He's interacting with us, right? He's interacting with us on the show or on the broadcast here, and he said he got a warning on one of his comments, and he says he does not know why. The very next statement prior to that, somebody was talking about the frequency, right? The frequency. Frequency is energy. You know that blah 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 blah. Okay, so, and I just told Lee. He says, Matt, they gave me a warning on one of my comments. What the? And I was like, you're on the wrong frequency. And yes, I'm being real. I'm trying very hard to get you and everyone else to focus on this timeline, Lee. Don't look at it as, put it this way, okay? If I want you, you're a God-fearing guy.
We are your
God, guns, guts, and glory. God, guns, guts, and glory. God, guns, guts, and glory. Patriot. You're a patriot. Already know that God's got it, Lee. Okay? You've got the guts to fix it with your guns if you don't think that God's got it. But I know your heart. God's got it. You get to keep your guns, and you don't have to use your guts. God, guns, guts, and glory. In the end, glory will prevail. Okay? Relax. These people on your timeline are already done. It's already done. You're watching the end of the script. All I'm asking you to do is come over here, and watch it from my view. Watch it from my point of view. Okay? Make fun of how they've gotten their asses kicked. Because you know it's coming. You know that it's coming. I already know that it's coming. In fact, I've already seen it happen. You got this, bro. You are with me for a reason. You are with us up in this chat and with Adam for a reason. You're with Christopher for a reason. This show, honestly, is put together by you. Everybody up in here is not by me. This is your guys' show. Your guys' broadcast. Would not be any other way. Christopher said via Aradif here, Twister. Let me read this, okay?
Yes.
Aradif says to connect fully with someone, tune to their consciousness, where they're at, like walking to somewhere to meet up with these people. Time and space can be equally traveled freely. Same with awareness and perception itself, which I can teach through anyone willing to learn, as Shalanima knows fully well. I don't know.
Yes, it's a very exciting thing because I actually tipped Shalanima to go visit Aradif because of a question or because of a desire that she had. So for those of you who don't know, Shalanima is actually from a previous iteration of this universe. In one of the versions of this universe's past, there's a previous iteration from which Shalanima is, and she had an excitement to go ahead and place some of her own consciousness here. One of the things that I tipped her to do was to go visit Aradif, because Aradif places some of his own consciousness here in the Earth Collective for us to go ahead and connect to and co-create from, or to co-create with. And I can tell you guys firsthand from, being with Aradif for so long, sharing consciousness is a thing to share by feel. That's something that, if you guys, for those of you who are excited to connect to Aradif, you'll feel him. You'll partially become him. That's what it really means to connect to anybody, is to partially become their consciousness. Become a thing is to know a thing. And that way, as you experience parts of Aradif's energy, he will literally be able to show you. And you will, in that way, in making him a part of your own consciousness, you are literally showing yourself. Remember, we are all your consciousness. So when someone is sharing something with you, or when someone is teaching you something, you have chosen to go ahead and integrate wisdom into your own experience via us as a part of your own self. And so in the idea of choosing to integrate certain wisdom into your own experience, there are many ways in which that can come to fruition, either by life or events being your teacher, or stumbling across the wisdom somewhere, or figuring it out mentally, or having someone be your teacher, either wittingly or by happenstance. There are so many different ways in which you can integrate wisdom into your own experience, and many of you have done this throughout your lives to grow and become who you are now. In this way, consciousness is always there for you, and Aradif is one of the many examples of this being the case.
I gotta try to figure out a way to get a hold of Christopher, like literally talk to him on the phone. I would love to get that did you just hear me? Oh, it was that channel, that connection, to where we can literally hear his soul source share with his people, meaning us, me, you, everybody in his reality, what we need to know right now. Where do we and how do we move on right now? Okay, because here's the thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? Where are we at now? I kind of know where you're at. I kind of know where I'm at. But there are some people that are stuck in belief. There are some people that are stuck with, creating what I guess wanting to create that experience of doom, gloom, and
Unstuck.
right. I don't know what the hell to
Don't
do.
get unstuck.
Well, I hope so.
Here's what the best thing to do is to go ahead and believe in them and have faith in them. Even if they do end up in doom and gloom for a time, they can always come out. The experience of paradise is not going anywhere. I understand and believe in people and their nature as consciousness so deeply that I know that they will be fine in due course. And I have faith in all of them to be what they need to be, to live what they desire to live in their own free will. But I also see all the value in all experience. A lot of times life isn't about the destination, it's a journey. I myself am here to enjoy the learning process and to enjoy this structure of consciousness and to see just what it can do. And in this way, sometimes in learning myself, you can go through a lot of hardship, and it can be very intense. I'm one to know with what happened with me and my twin flame. That was extremely difficult. But my own heart was in staying with her despite what happened. And I'm glad I did, because I learned so much from that. Things that, I couldn't physically be there for her given what had happened. But I learned things in energetically being there for her that I could never learn otherwise. Simply leaving my consciousness available for her was all that I really needed to do. Having faith in my own ability to have the experience that I want to have, it leads me to reiterate what Aradif always says. Know, to feel, and to perceive that your love, in our perspective, is of the utmost importance. Why? To recognize that is to integrate all that love into your own experience, and to be free to experience whatever you want, and to be loved for it. And when you believe in that possibility for everybody, no matter how stuck they are, you immediately are able to co-create a version of them that can become unstuck. The best idea is to look at them not with worry, but with confidence in them, and confidence in them as part of yourself. This is something that I myself am practicing to go ahead and co-create, humanity. Not thinking of the exact words, but it's like the 21st century would not be dimly remembered at all with this, because it would be a great year or a great century of enlightenment and openness, new renaissance and all that, new ways of consciousness being shared both within the collective between humans and among extraterrestrials, the reunion of humanity with Sasquatch, and an explosion of technology unlike anything that mankind has ever seen. It would be new recognition in human capability, a new belief and openness to that. And I see the layout of human consciousness right now. It does not take much for those floodgates to be open. So the more faith that you have in people to open up, the more faith that you have in the world to be well, the more you'll be able to co-create that. The more you hold that faith throughout the process of the world going through hardship, because part of learning thyself is going through hardship. Many of you are well aware of this from your own experiences, and many of you have gone through very deep hardship yourselves and have become better, have learned so much from going through that, things that you would not have learned without going through that.
I gotta stop you.
Is often part of the learning process.
I gotta stop you because this is what we've been waiting for right here. This is you literally answered. Not you, not Adam. Adam, I've been watching this. I've been waiting for him to say this. So we're talking to Lee, right? and this is, let me scroll back up to this comments where you can read it. Matt, do you know what I really think is funny is how you are the only one who seems to see my posts as possible realities. He says, I guess I'm really the dumbass here. No, you were not the dumbass here, because I did not even respond to that. I wanted you, Lee, I waited, and lo and behold, what did you just say? Down here, it is good. We all live in our own realities. So let me read this. Listen to the way this is going to work, Lee. Listen clearly as to what I'm doing. Okay? Up here, I said, Matt, not imagine this. I said I. Okay, I'll do that. I said, do you know what I really think is funny is how you are the only one who's able to see my post as possible realities. I guess I'm the dumbass here. It is good because we all live in our own realities. Did you see how I read that as an entirety? We do, Lee. We are all part of our own worlds, but we share our experiences with others, okay? If I am going to buy into I hate to say it, if I'm going to buy into your bullshit, then I'm going to fall victim to the belief. Okay? Belief is a very, very strong creative force. In fact, it is the glue. It is the glue that helps you manifest this energy. It's already there. The energy's already there. Okay? All you've got to do is make it malleable, pliable, and create with it. You have an endless amount of creative power. I do. So does everyone else. So right there, we are all in our own worlds. Your wife, your grandchildren, I promise you, they are going to have their own view on reality that you do. Please, you are the victor, not the victim, okay? Get your mind's creative power into the victor. I'm the victor, not the victim mentality. I promise you, bro. 50-something, you're 53, I think. That is a very powerful place to be. Now, where they wanted you was the victim. Don't play victim. You're no longer playing cat and mouse. You're playing pit bull versus cat. Okay?
There is no they.
Shut up, Adam. You understand what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. I'm just baby steps for a second, Adam. Baby steps. I know you. Guidance. I'm trying, bro. I'm trying so hard. Because again, I'm a positive person. I really am, dude. I see it as already done in their timeline. You know what I'm saying? In their experience, I see them as endless possibility. Endless possibility. The human soul is endless.
Yeah, what I need to do is learn to listen more.
Wow. It's hard being a host and doing that. I let people usually walk over me, bro. I do. And back in the day, oh man, I should have never let who ran over me run over me. I'm just saying. I was.
You know, if you're truly source, and when someone runs over you, you're not going to flatten. You're going to be fine. And that's one thing I'm having to learn. You know, I'm out of the way of people. That way I keep my fit and finish nice and shiny. But the thing is, and I'm learning here even. As I've had to learn, you know, with the world, I need to believe in it. And as I've been integrating that, I've been watching things I'm watching people find their way. I'm watching people find love where they weren't finding it before, or I'm watching the steps of that. And I have to not lose my faith just because something looks bad in the moment. I have to let things pay out. I have to be patient. I have to be patient with everybody. And so I have to be patient with myself. I have to be patient with the family. I have to be patient with you. And as I be patient with everybody, watch everything play out. And it's such a beautiful thing. If I were to skip over it straight to the end, I'd be missing out. Really would.
So check this out. I'm gonna rephrase. I'm gonna rephrase what I'm reading. And I want you to hear how good this sounds, okay? I want you to hear how good this sounds. Lee, again, a shard of my reality. The government used to make me a victim. They used to stifle me, and my voice was not heard. Did you hear how I rephrased that? See, I used to think that same way, right? Now I know, and now I know that I've reached enough people, okay? I know this through people like you, Lee, Alexa, the asshole with a heart, which is my door kicker. The reason I'm saying that because a funny. This is funny. Larry Hawkins, right? He my boots on the ground, my door kicking military guy, comes across as a real asshole from time to time. I literally had a friend of mine say, this Larry Hawkins guy's an asshole, but he's got heart. I about spit my coffee at the monitor because he's so right. They were so right. I love that dude with all my heart, man. I guarantee it. Nobody could show up at the doorstep of this boy, involuntary without dying. But I can say, Larry, I'm gonna come play some music with you. Yo, bro, I pack a bowl. When you coming? Guarantee you that would happen. But again, asshole with a heart. We've got to make our own reality the way we want it to be in our mind. Be imaginative, be creative, and believe it so. Because again, there's nothing in this world that you can see and sit your ass upon that was never once a human thought. And it originated from source. Think about that. You're watching the show on a device that was once a thought. Okay? It come from somewhere. It originated from the same soul consciousness, soul self, as that in which you're calling an enemy. Imagine that shit. It's the same consciousness. It is the same source.
I want to go ahead and actually. I want to go ahead and share a little trick that I learned just the other day. I think it's been a week now. A way that I approach the idea of creating, and I learned this just recently as I was taking really big leaps of faith to really master my own creatorship. The thing is that I've already mastered it. And chances are so have all of you. You guys have mastered it. What really the key to this is being open to it, being open to it being. It's not just believing in it, but it's simply being open to it being real. So in other words, you make a choice to have an experience, and you're open to the idea of making that choice and having it actually be part of your reality. And when you do that for the first time, it will be surreal. It will be so surreal that it will bring tears to your eyes. If you do that, it'll be amazing. I actually wanted to invite Alexa onto the show before we run out of time.
Oh, okay.
Are you up for that?
I am. If she's even able to. I don't know if she's able to. It'd be really cool to have her. I
I
would
know
love
that,
to.
I know that she's been wanting to speak to me.
She has. She has. I don't quite know if she's going to be. I do know she was at home. She was working from home today.
I saw in the comments that she just finished work.
Yeah, I seen that too, but I'm not sure if she's able to. I don't know. AJ, are you able to call this feller? I don't know. Lisa Thomas told Andy Cassidy to cut down the brownies, big boy. She says, give me 5 minutes. Just give me 5. She just finished work. Well, gotcha. You know, again, this goes back to saying, man, I'm glad that you called me. I knew you would. I truly knew you would. But I also wanted you to realize that I'm not the bad guy. I am not what you thought I was. I am not.
I figured that out pretty quickly after our last connection, and I actually noticed that there were a lot of my own protocols that I didn't follow. What had happened was I had made a significant revelation, and then went somewhere before I was really ready to go somewhere. And this is why, if your heart says you're not ready to go somewhere, it's probably not the best idea to go there anyway. It would mean that I would have missed the show completely, but having not missed the show and made a whole bunch of mistakes, I did actually learn a lot of stuff. So
good.
It allowed me to clear a lot of energy, and I learned a lot of ways in which I was believing about people that were not in alignment with my own higher self. So this did not just help me with you; it helped me out with a lot of other people as well.
All right.
I think the idea of making an ass out of myself at the end of your show is a little bit of a small price to pay. It's a price I'd rather not pay, but if I paid it, oh well.
Peggy Barnowski says, Twister had, I can't say this word, and I know the word. My wife laughs at me for trying to say this word.
Epiphany.
Twister had an epiphany.
There you go.
Yeah,
it wasn't, these kind of things I do, these are routine for me, Peggy. If you're constantly watching yourself as you operate, I'm in the art of mind building, or at least that's what I like to call it, where basically I'm always looking at the way I'm thinking, the way I play out life, and I'm always evaluating it and looking at ways I can do things better because I'm working to become type 1. This process takes a significant amount of tuning of my mind because the path of least resistance for me with this is to go ahead and tune my thinking, to tune my physical mind to recognize oneness. And this is not hard to do, but it is a lot of work. It's a very highly multifaceted, multi-step process. But the basic idea is recognizing oneness in all things, and in doing so, you're recognizing that all things are you, and that all things are source. And I've been doing this my whole life, not just with respect to becoming type 1, but also with respect to becoming a good scientist. I wanted to go ahead and I would always look at my mind in ways in which I can think better and be smarter, ways in which I can figure things out more quickly, and am I being myself? Am I being what I need to be for what I'm doing? And I'm always checking that, make sure that I'm being the best me that I could possibly be. And I grab every scrap of wisdom that I possibly can from my experiences. So when I play out something, I'll often go over it and tune myself to be even better. And sometimes I'll play things out before I actually play them out for real. And so I'm always working on myself. I'm always working to be the best me that I can be.
let me give an example here real quick, okay? And I truly want to give an example. And there's a lot of people in the chat right now. Right now, there's a lot of people. Lee says, much love to you, Matt. Much love to you too, bro. But I feel that your own chat does not see the pain in everyday people. We all seek our own truth, people. Now, I said, my response to this was, they do not believe what / how you believe, therefore they will not see. Now, my example, on contrast to what I said, I believe. No, this is true, factual. I believe in UFO. I believe in ET. Do you know that you and I possibly could sit in the yard and I see a spacecraft and you not see it? I could point it out. I could point out the spacecraft to you and you not see it. It's the difference between consciousness, whether you are ready to see it and believe it or you're not. This is true.
I use that little trick, actually, to go ahead and co-create with beings without interfering with the co-created collective. Although I've not actually managed to co-create having a physical meeting with any ETs, but I have used that concept to go ahead and clear away any possible interference with the human collective by basically making a meeting between just me and them. I've never been able to actually successfully do that, though, but I do know that if any of you want to make contact with ETs and are worried about the effect that it has on other humans, you can go ahead and employ that principle of consciousness. Another detail on a separate matter, if I am even in the slightest way the part of someone's reality, then, take Morkel, for example. They're a highly malevolent race of Type 2 beings near the Alpha Draconian energy. The very fact that they would connect to me at all means a part of them is opening up to the idea of oneness. Otherwise, I would not be part of their consciousness at all. So those people that are deep in resistance or disconnection or darkness or a lack of love, so it doesn't matter how deep in the darkness you are, you can always get out whenever you want. And the idea of having, even the thought of it is the first step. You can grow into it from there.
I gotta say something, because AJ did call the show, and it immediately booted her once I approved the call. So
okay, in that case, AJ, if you want to go ahead and reach me, you can go ahead and post in the comments of one of my videos. I'm the Atom Twister on YouTube, and
did you
if
see
you want
that
to go
plug?
ahead and connect to me there, you can.
Did you hear that? That was cool, wasn't it? Did you see how he just plugged himself? Hang on one second. Let me see this. I'm thinking that she's on Wi-Fi and she's not got a good connection, because that will happen. I've been told that will happen immediately as soon as I click her name. I see her calling, but the moment I try to involve her in the studio and approve it, it immediately just disconnects her.
Have something that might clear up the energy for you, Alexa. So one thing that you can do is open up your beliefs about who I am and come from a neutral perspective. Completely clear any preconceptions of who I am or what I think or what I believe. And then if you have mismatched your belief about who I am with who I actually am, then the letting go of those beliefs and the neutralization would allow you to co-create with me. I've had this same phenomenon happen where I have beliefs about Rob that are not in alignment with the version of Rob with which I'm co-creating in my reality, and that have caused us to not be able to co-create here. And when I cleared up those beliefs, and I think there were other beliefs that also cleared up, I opened up to the idea of being able to co-create, of the experience between us being able to happen. I let go of all that resistance and completely neutralized my own beliefs about Rob, about Art, about everybody, then we were able to co-create. In doing that, you'll probably find a piece of knowledge within you that you've forgotten about that might actually allow you to find the solution to the physical aspect of this problem as well.
Well, it's saying it's saying she says that it says that she's muted, and I'm seeing that she's not even there. So hang on one second. It says I've got 2 participants. So listen, Twister, don't you go anywhere, okay? Don't you go anywhere. You stay where you're at. All I'm gonna do is refresh the screen real quick. Hang on 1 minute. Because I'm not quite sure. I don't want to have to. I really don't want to have to reboot it. No, it doesn't show you, Alexa. I already did that. I just now did that, and it does not show. Does not show. I was there, she says. I will try again. All right.
Try it one more.
I love these guys up here in this. I literally love all of these people. We are doing amazing thing, man. We are doing amazing things in one another's lives. I want you to know that every single one of you, we are all participating and doing amazing things in one another's lives.
Yes, I'm really grateful. This whole place has become a matrix of consciousness coming together and people sharing with one another and helping each other to be their best selves by reflecting each other to each other.
All right. Let me try this real quick. I just tried to enter a public chat with that number. See waiting room. I'm going to see waiting room. See my waiting. 1 second. All right. I'm doing everything to get her in here. Literally. And the moment I click the chat, it should pop up, and it didn't. Son of a bitch. Why is not it allowing her to call? What in the hell is the problem? I'm going to do something. Alexa, I'm going to send you a link. Okay? Check this out. Check this out. There's more ways to skin this cat. And that's right here. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you I'm specifically going to send you a link. And you just click on this link. Try this. Check this out. Check your Facebook Messenger, sweetheart. Try this. Try this, because I know you want. I know you want to talk to him. Alexa, check this right here. Click that link. Oh my God. I don't know what else to do. I really don't, Adam, because I'm trying, and every time no, it didn't work. It did not work.
See, I actually have learned to match the feelings in my body. My body is paralleling the energy, and I felt that same. It's kind of like a knot in my gut tells me the energy that there's, it's the energy is not able to co-create. So I know that locked up. So I'll have to go ahead and take a look at my own consciousness, make sure everything checks out. Because for a lack of co-creation to take place, there would have to be an energy not set properly within myself for me to have this happening be a part of my own reality. So I'll go ahead and check over everything just like I do when my Minecraft game is not working.
I don't really understand Christopher's question here. Lisa Thomas is saying that Australia doesn't exist tonight. Oh God! And then Christopher's like, Matt. Now I don't quite know how to answer this question.
I have one more thing for Alexa, by the way.
Yeah.
I can go ahead and take questions from her in the chat. So if she wants to ask me some questions or share some things with me, we'll go ahead and do this by chat.
All right.
I know that'll work.
I don't understand this, Christopher. Chris says, Matt, do you have a personally owned God? I don't understand that question.
I don't.
I don't.
As
Andy,
in, I don't have a personally owned God. That's what I mean when I say I don't.
I don't.
We are one, so don't have something separate from me to own.
Andy Cassidy says
It is just me.
we're here on our own special mission. Peggy, and it just said, okay. I think that she tried to call. It showed you leaving. It showed you leaving, Alexa, but did not show you entering the switchboard. It showed you leaving, but didn't show you entering. Interesting. The link might work. That's what my intuition says. But resistance still exists. Yeah. Oh, Chris says, "Oh my God." He says that I say, "Oh my God" a lot.
Oh, that's funny.
He's smart ass. Oh. Alexa says that the switchboard had her muted, and I can't. All I do is click, click, click. I can't. I don't know.
Let's give it one more go, and if that doesn't work, Alexa, then just go ahead and ask your questions in the chat, and I will answer.
I'm not sure she'll be able to hear you if I do this through Facebook. In fact, I'm almost quite sure that she's not going to be able to hear you. I'm trying.
I would read the chat. I would just answer on the show.
Lee, thank you. He says, thanks for someone I can get a different point of view. Ah, that's the entire kicker, bro. I love you. Yes. Please. Try to look at the world through someone else's point of view. I encourage you to look at your world through my point of view. Because where you're at in your little shard of reality, I already see that they who are still part of you and still part of me, you've already kicked their ass. You've already got them where you want them. You follow? It doesn't matter. It's going to be all right. And no matter what, if you're worried about your grandchildren more so than anything, keep doing what you're doing because you are instilling you in them. You are literally continuing your heritage, your belief, and your love through them. Keep doing what you're doing, but really, yeah, look at your world through my point of view, just a little bit.
Okay, so just in case I am not able to connect to Alexa this time, I will go ahead and share a few things with her. One of the things that I noticed as I was watching over both the Monday session and the last time that I called into the Matrix, I talked about sound healing. And I had overlooked the idea of the sound healing technology that's out. Yes, there is a little bit more to that, that I had mentioned. It was not resonant with me to say that sound healing doesn't exist. That's not really, that's not in alignment with my own higher self. You can heal cells with sounds. But the thing that I was sharing was more in context to music. and like my chime music, for example. With that stuff, when you heal, you choose to heal yourself. It starts with your consciousness. You don't. What I'm saying is to not disown.
I'm trying to unmute everybody because it's showing her, but not showing her. Are you there, Adam?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's not letting. I took some screenshots, and Alexa, it's not. It's literally not letting you in here. And why, I don't know. I took screenshots so that I'm able to get them back to TalkShoe and see what the problem is. I don't know. I truly don't know. It's on your end. It said it's on my end. It says, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna reboot this bitch. I'm gonna reboot this switchboard, and I just call me back, Twister. Hear me?
All right.
Call me seriously. Call me right back.
Here,
This is it. If this does not work, I don't know what else to do. Call me right back.
All right. See you.
Oh my God. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to literally fire this up one more time. Give me a second, everybody, and I'm going to do this. We're going to do this. 1 hour. Call. All right. Hello, Linda. If I were you, I'd be confused too. Coming in here not knowing what the hell's going on. All right, calling in here not knowing what the hell's going on, and seeing me say I'm going to reboot the switchboard. I would be confused too. All right, Alexa. All right, AJ. All right, we got this. So let me enter into this switchboard. Share my screen. Share the audio. Share the window. Where are we at? Talk, shoot, human. The entire screen. There's where I'm going. I'm going right here. I'm trying to get the switchboard to allow these two to communicate here. All right. The tones usually... What, Tammy? All right. So you guys can call the switchboard back if you wish. Again, this is the last go at it. I don't know what else to do. I've rebooted the board. I don't know. Other than it's saying, it's literally saying, Matt, you've already reached your 2 hour limit. You're done. All right. Adam's heard it's not letting AJ there. There's a sound going on from G to octave D for the octave wave. I don't know, Chris. I have no idea, bro. What just happened? Lee says I am just a loser, my friend, but you, no, bro, you are not a loser. No, bro, you are not even that. Alexa's, it's on your end. No, okay, switchboard's up, Alexa. I can't call out, okay? If I was able to call out, then I would, but I can't. It does not allow me to dial out. Now watch it tell everybody the switchboard's down. It's not letting anybody call. I don't know. I'm trying. All right. So here, this is... I am very well aware of the country code. So here's AJ. Did you hear the bling? That bling was her calling the switchboard. And there she is. Now let's unmute her.
Hello.
Dun, dun, dun. How are you?
Recording started.
I said, how are you?
Good. I'm good. That was a little bit of a challenge.
Well, now watch it. Now watch it not allow Atom in here. I don't know. I don't know what's up. I don't have a clue. All I'm trying to do is connect the two. I'm trying to connect the two dots, right? I have not got a clue as to what's up with it. All I'm trying to do is just... You wanted to talk to Adam. Adam wanted to talk to you. Bring the two together. And guess who's calling? Oh my God, Chris. Oh my God.
You there?
Nope. We are not here.
Hello?
Houston, can you hear me now? Alexa, say hello to Adam Twister. I called him Tornado. You know that. Tornado, say hello to Alexa.
Hello. Hello, Adam. How are you? How are you going?
Very well. How are you doing?
I'm good. I
connect to you here.
Yeah. It's like, you know, they get a little bit scared because I never know what I'm going to say. So I could come out with anything. I wanted to talk to you last time you phoned in because you were talking about your experience of Ascension. And so,
Really,
you know, I was going to...
I don't really look at it as Ascension because, you know, you already are a source. The way I look at myself is I'm source experiencing a small portion of himself. And the concept of the full entity here in anything first through sixth density is basically you go ahead and split your consciousness into two pieces, setting one piece to go ahead and operate automatically, while the other piece you directly experience. And in that doing, you create the higher self and the lower self. As you directly experience the lower self, you choose whatever you want to do. The higher self acts like the stage crew, the medium for your adventure, and also your reflection and expression. And to go ahead and go up in the densities is a side effect of the idea of migrating your own consciousness from the higher self into the lower self. So now you experience more of your own consciousness manually. And it's a phenomenon called the co-creational dynamic that actually separates the densities from each other. I highlight this concept in my Type 1 Puzzle Pieces document that's on my channel. But I don't really see myself as ascending. I simply see myself as exploring consciousness.
Yeah,
but I do understand.
That's correct. Yeah. Forgive me. They've just decided to bring in some weather warfare here, and it's pouring down with rain. And there is a bit of water between us, so forgive the time lag in me speaking. I'm just interested in your thoughts because I've been time traveling for years, and I've also been equipped to jump through portals and also experience different timelines, whether it's past, present, or future. And I was interested in your classification. You said 1, going to a level of 1. What do you mean by that specifically?
I'm talking about becoming a Type 1 being. This is
what do you think that is? Because I'm really interested in that. Thank you.
So, if you follow Rob Gauthier's YouTube channel, he is the E.T. Whisperer on YouTube.
Yep. I love Rob.
Aradif a lot. So, yes, you know Aradif. So, he talks about, and so does Trebor Yitney, the dichotomy of the Type 1 entity and the Type 2 entity. The Type 1 entity knows 100% his oneness with all things. The Type 2 entity has not fully integrated this recognition of oneness in all things. So what I'm doing is I'm learning myself. I'm learning what I am. I'm learning what all things are, to where I understand the oneness and intimacy of all things, the fact that everything is me, that I am everything, and understanding my true essence as source. This is independent of unlimiting thyself, which is something else that I'm doing. And I'm also sharing with everybody how to grow into this energy themselves. This is something that artist's own excitement is very deeply in. This is why he and I work so closely together.
Yes, and it's interesting for me to hear that. Mine is quite a different and unusual experience in the fact that I am Pleiadian and not human. So, in the sense of the word human. So, I am also known as the Oracle of Timelessness.
That's very interesting because I know some. That's very interesting because I think there's a being who you would love to connect to. I've mentioned Shalanima here. She is she's very deeply connected to Chris, and I have my own very deep connection with her. And the idea of time is something that's fascinating for her because she carries a lot of the. Well, maybe I'll let her tell you about it, but it has to do with connections with another version of this universe whose predecessor, if you look at this universe as having the Big Bang as a cyclical process where it bangs, expands, and then ceases to expand, collapses back on itself, and then bangs again over trillions of years, the previous iteration of this universe is the one from which Shalanima comes. And she herself is a keeper of these great archives. I think you would enjoy very much connecting with her. And also, if you've mastered the use of these portals, I invite you to come over to Tap City. There's a lot of tools over there. There's one that I like to call my portable gateway. Don't know if you have any use for that. If you're able to open portals using your consciousness on command, then you won't need this. But otherwise, a gateway, it's this thing you can construct. Open it up and set it to bring you to wherever you want to go.
Yeah, just a little bit about me, I guess would help you understand. I was introduced to the Pleiadian, my Pleiadian family and my gifts at the age of 5. I was scared off by a Draco that came through a portal at me at the age of 10. I was contacted by the Pleiadians when I was willing and ready to integrate with my higher self. My higher self walked in a few years ago, so I am fully integrated, and I am now my higher self in this realm, in this dimension. I also have been up on ships and been shown all the timelines that could eventuate on the planet. I was shown the soul lights from the ship. I've been on the ship many times. Last 8-8 is always an upgrade from me. I have starseed mappings of Andromeda, Orion, and Pleiadian. So I have walked the halls of Amenti in Egypt. I have been a seer in Greece as at the Temple of Apollo. I have done many things, and the Andromeda side of me is very strong as well. But this time I'm incarnated as a Pleiadian to help people with their what we have tagged as ascension, because it's a very personal and say experience for everybody. But the last 8-8 is always 8-8 is always an upgrade for me. And the last 8-8, I was taken on board a ship and taken into a room where only the angelics could enter, and I was upgraded again. So I'm having some amazing experiences. I'm also tuned into the arcs that are now activating on Earth. I've also visited Inner Earth many times, and I have spoken to communities about humanity. I'm also in Australia to nuke the shit out of the negative energy here that is close by. So although I'm Pleiadian and full of love and compassion for all, I am also a warrior, and I will destroy darkness in a minute. So that's me in a nutshell.
That's very interesting. You know, I actually want to invite you over to my starship. I brought Enterprise J to fruition. It was originally a concept that Doug Drexler connected to, and it was in Star Trek in the Azati Prime episode. it was something that I resonated with so deeply that I decided to go ahead and bring it to fruition when I realized that I could go ahead and create on command. I postulated that I could do this, as I was working with this stuff, being that here on Earth, because of the co-creational dynamic, I might not be able myself, with the way my own consciousness is set up, to snap my fingers and instantly add wind chimes into my reality. But because of the way the Yits work, I might be able to go ahead and do that with them. I did it in a private session with Rob, and it worked. Once I realized that I could do that, I realized the significance of imagination. Created this great hub out in the galaxy for beings from everywhere, from every walk of life, from all of the 4 teams that I talked about in this Matrix Minds episode. Anybody across the entirety of the Type 2 spectrum, from the darkest and most malevolent Type 2 beings, all the way up to the highest benevolent Type 2 beings, and also Type 1 beings. Place for beings of all different densities come together and to share with one another and have whatever experiences they want, and to get to connect to everything that we share over there, which we truly share limitlessly, and we have no limit to resources. So if you come over there, anything you decide you want to take home with you, you can. And Enterprise J was a concept that I also decided to bring to fruition. This is a ship that travels the galaxy, that goes and visits different worlds. They share wisdom. The worlds and the beings from all different worlds, they share with each other. They share with the worlds they visit. Sometimes beings from the ship decide to stay at the world that they go visit, and sometimes beings from the world go aboard Enterprise Jade and go stay there. We'd love to have you and show you around. I imagine, would have a great deal of wisdom that you would find useful, and a great deal of technology that you and all of your guides would also find useful. I like to go ahead and
I've also been taken off quite a distance away and been shown the Archon ships, which are very real, which are the rulers and the controllers of AI. And I also am very much aware and awakened that I can manipulate plasma ships through telekinesis and my connection to crystals as well. So this is really interesting times, and my goal and my frustration all at the same time is that enough of the distractions on this planet. Everybody came here because they signed up for it, and everybody's got gifts, and it is about integrating with their true self and going to 0 point and connecting with all that is and understanding their true innate power as immortals. We finished the 26,000 year of slavery, and people just have to realize that none of that exists for them now if they choose it to be. So my mission at the moment, for some unexplained reason, is to stabilize the arcs, and I'm sure I'm not alone across the world in doing that. And I can't talk about my professions or my experience, but I have been placed here specifically to neutralize as quickly as possible what is happening, so that we enter into the 5D realm, all of us. I come back to 3D. It's been proven multiple times recently that I have to actually make myself visible in 3D. So it's a rather interesting time for me. But it sounds interesting, Adam.
The Zoom meeting.
Oh my God! They don't know what the hell is going on, but I have to consciously say, okay, I want to come back to the shithole. Come on, bring me back, because I've even had it where I can get into the frequencies higher than 5 and actually feel my soul and my energy extrapolating from my body and have to pull it back in. So it can be pretty scary at times, but I never wanted to make it about me. I always knew that I was different, and I'm okay with that. And I've had so many experiences with the angelics and with the Pleiadians that I really one day will have to write books when I've got time, not helping people.
You different.
So
You should see me.
well, I just can't assimilate into this. I never actually have, and even down to my name, which was chosen for me, which is Hebrew, and it means helper and defender of mankind. And this is somewhat of a burden at times, but it also has great joy in me. And Matt will tell you at another time what I did last week. I literally brought a tornado down into a city where one woman was being badly mistreated. And I gave at least 30 people a wake-up call. And I've got no hesitation in doing that if that's what's necessary.
Yeah, I've been a guide for Pleiadians. Let me ask you a question. Do you know Tunia and Hakan?
No, I don't. Who are they?
They are a couple of Pleiadian beings that I've seen channeled over on Era of Light. So I want to ask if your race is part of the Galactic Federation of Light.
I'm connected to the Galactic Federation, not by choice. They tested me for some time, and then they chose me to be a emissary.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff about consciousness that I want to go ahead and show you, because I myself used to be a soldier of sorts when I worked on the NanoPro project. And the thing is that I eventually learned that I didn't have to be a soldier. First, there was what happened with my twin flame, which led me to shelf the project because I didn't want to carry the weight of the world on my shoulders anymore. But when I learned the nature of Source, I realized that I didn't have to be a soldier at all. I didn't have to fight for people, because I realized that free will is absolute. And all experiences, however good, however bad, they can be learned from. And the best way for me to share this, especially since I'm now aware of your Pleiadian heritage and what kind of consciousness you're capable of, is to show you. I think you can connect to my energy and be me and really experience what I've learned and what I'm integrating into myself. And it's the kind of thing that would cause no more militaries to be needed, because, let's say, everybody would be secure, everybody would be well. The seed for darkness would no longer be there, because the recognition of oneness in all things, and therefore one's ability to always have what they're looking for, would be there. There would be no more fear. There would be no more separation or sense of separation to create the hardships that happen here and everywhere else as well. I share this a great deal with the Pleiades. I share this. The
trauma was created. Light and dark were created for everyone to wake up. So it was all necessary. I mean, in the last 3 years, people have more understanding of themselves than what they've ever done before. So it's all by design, divine design. Being the warrior is part of me. I have fought galactic wars as a Pleiadian warrior called Chiara, and Matt fought those wars with me as well. He just can't remember yet. But I'm here for many reasons, and the Pleiadians have always protected me from integrating with other consciousness, because I have not fulfilled all of my mission here. I do not know what's ahead of me. I am to be there when the galactics finally do show themselves as an emissary. I will be there for that. That is part of my chosen path. But I'm here for many things, and I'm complicated. And it's because my whole life I have been protected. I have had ships being zapped by Pleiadians, warning them to get the fuck away from me. So I don't know what my future is. I don't question my future. I let it unfold. But my journey is chosen, and it is my shared DNA imprint placed on this earth, because not just for humanity, but for Gaia as well, because she is also transforming as we go through the photon belt as one. So I have a multitude of. I basically don't sleep. I have many roles to play, and even just a Pleiadian voice itself is activating people and their DNA. So there's a reason for it, but I don't question it, because I surrendered to this a long time ago, and I'm willing to watch it unfold. But the arcs most recently have been an addition that I wasn't prepared for. Neither was I prepared for crystallizing and going down into inner earth and talking to many beings about earth. I mean, that is quite humbling. So yeah, this is what a freaking fantastic time to be in this planet, and we will all get through this and integrate with our higher selves and wake up from the Aboriginals in Australia call it the dream time, and it is the dream time because it is a simulation. So power, thought, and creation here for vibration and frequency is just absolutely everything. We could end this right here and right now if the collective did that, but it was chosen to be phased
for consciousness.
Yeah, no, well, okay. The other part of me is that I do not exist in the hive mind. I exist out of the hive mind. I choose to come in. I choose to come into the hive mind to assist humanity and also fulfill my mission here. So it's like Dolores Cannon once said, it's convoluted. It's just, it is so convoluted.
Asia, you're talking all over him.
Simple to me.
You can't
I'm sorry,
hear him.
I can't.
It's okay.
There's
a delay.
How much time do we have?
You've got to hang on. 2 hours and 20. We've been for 2 hours and 28 minutes. So technically, you've got minus 35 minutes. In all reality, we've got about another 10 minutes, if that.
All right. Well, in that case, I have a message for you and for your race and for really all beings. Same message that I always share. It's a message of oneness. As you are aware, of course, there is the light and dark, and this adds a sense of depth, of fruit to experience, where an entity can split itself into two pieces and forget what the other piece is doing. There can be experiences of great oneness, but also experiences of great division. And of course, creation would not be complete without all flavors of experience and without all experience in general, and all the different perspectives and perceptions there are to be had of each and every single one of the experiences. So I do deeply understand the idea of the light and dark of which you speak. But, of course, any experience and any journey you decide you want to go ahead and have is your choice to have. The thing that I resonate with doing is simply sharing the possibility, simply sharing all of the roads that can be chosen, and share the infinite possibility that there is. If you desire for me to share more, I will.
Can I wait? Let me chime in real quick for 1 second. Hang on. Christopher as a multi-channel here just dropped something from Gaia, so you got to let me read this, okay? All right. Christopher channeled it via Gaia, saying, "It is a joy to create and have fun here in this way." Am I right? It is a joy to create and have fun here in this way, in connection with all of you humans. Light and dark will meld into one. There, then no longer will be a problem within. As of now, 1,530 years or so, 1,530 years from now, the star, okay, so he goes on and says, the star mothers are present now and rejoice in the awakening going on here. There is no simulation versus reality because everything is equally real. That's interesting. Thank you, Chris, for dropping that. He goes on to,
it's quite interesting.
he goes on to say that
Go on, please.
goes on to say that AJ or Alexa is a type 2. Ooh, that's interesting.
Yes, so it'd be very benevolent type 2 being.
AJ,
Yo,
you ain't even real. You ain't even real. You don't even, bitch, you don't exist. Where's that? Has anybody seen Alexa? I'm here. I'm here. You guys can't see me. I'm in the Zoom meeting. Hello. Remember? Do you remember what I'm? Now you remember what I'm saying? Yeah. This broad don't even exist. That's interesting.
I respect the classifications, but then there's a big part of me that doesn't resonate with classifications of any kind because I see that as a somewhat, it could be potentially a division. So, and it's a classification, and this is what I'm trying to get rid of. I'm going to just say 2 words to you, okay? I am.
Yes, that's why we're called being.
I am that I am.
I resonate a lot
That's
with
it.
the idea because I felt the feedback in my own heart, with respect to saying type 2. There were a lot of elements of it that don't resonate, and here's why. It's because ultimately all things are one. So to go ahead and say that one thing is only one thing or only another is to overlook the rest of the consciousness. So I can feel that feedback in my own heart.
And I guess my question is, who created the terms? Who created the terms type 1 and type 2? Was it man?
It was simply an observation. The thing is,
it was created by man.
Well, no, this is a challenging thing because there's a very fine line between observation and division because it's so easy to go ahead and observe phenomena in consciousness and then get to a point where you carry a belief that actually creates a divide between 2 different things, and then it can grow into a limitation and cause people to become less able to co-create specific things. Even more so when one forgets the idea of how important unconditional love is. If you want to have a specific one of the 2 types of experiences that you observe to exist, you don't want to start judging the other. And that's a slippery slope that a lot of people can find their ways in. And this traces through the journey.
That's true. That's true, but we have to remember that for years now, human or man has been programmed and enslaved and kept down through man-made perceptions, thoughts, and that were all compromised. And when the true history of Earth and our place in the galactic timelines and everything else, it comes to the open, and it is. The times of Tartaria, the times of Lemuria, which I was a teacher of mystery schools at. So all this will come out, and everyone will have a better understanding. And I've got to the stage where I no longer debate it. I just let it unfold. There's been times, I'm just going to have to move for a minute.
You guys are going to have to wrap it up because right now I was about to play this. Yeah.
So when it comes in, just wanted to say 2 things. When it comes into your reality, and it's happened happens to me all the time, and I don't know what the angelics put in my forehead this time around, but it's very powerful. But I have, for some time now, been simply, when the Galactic Federation or the Pleiadians want to talk to me, they will create the portal and I will walk through it and off I go. And there is no time. Everything has, beware of things that have been created by me, and that's what got us into this mess. That's all I'm going to say. It's not a criticism.
Yeah.
But also, I wanted to say two things to you because I know we're running out of time. I love your gift of music and frequency. So I am very much a part of the Lazarus Initiative and Unified, and we are working towards healing frequencies across this place. I will be a part of healing humanity when the time is right with frequencies. I will be teaching children frequency, platonic solids, sacred geometry, how to manipulate time, how to do all this. But that is not now. Now is the time for us to love each other, support each other, integrate into our higher selves, encourage each other, no matter what your experience. It's not crazy. It's real. The dream time was the illusion. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing for me to go ahead and share with this is all of this is already there. Mankind, like if you be me for a moment, the mankind that I'm experiencing is a reflection and expression of myself. Even if I be one of the people over in China who is a slave, this is a reflection and expression of myself. It's a state of existence. It's a way of living. No one can, if I'm that slave, no one can break me out of that as a conscious entity. I have to shift my consciousness myself to be able to co-create that. Now, of course, I could co-create you doing that, but I have to move my consciousness myself in order to do that. So the whole idea is that all of the wisdom of how to manipulate time, as you put it, as you also say, time is not fundamental. Time is a tool that we use to have the experience that we all have. And so
it's a measurement.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
You could call it a measurement. It's more than that, but the whole thing is that all of this whole reality, as I say all the time, it's your true essence, or not your true essence, it's you. So you already have the wisdom to do anything with this. You don't have to seek it out from anybody else. You can find it from within, and that's what I've done. I've become able to do absolutely anything in the galaxy. And I'm not just talking about in the astral. I share consciousness to where anybody who wants to integrate me doing anything can do so into that which many people call their physical reality. And in this way, I can instantly teleport from world to world with no technology. I can bring gifts to people.
Exactly.
Of course. Yeah. And the thing is, of course, they are integrating that into their consciousness. When I go ahead, the mechanism is, I think to do this, it's offered to them. If they decide to make this their own, they can, and then, of course, the experience takes place. It all happens kind of simultaneously. This is a very, very fluid thing. I'll let Aradif go ahead and allow you, I'll let him share the energy. I'll let him be your reflection because he'll be a better mirror than I am.
Not tonight. Not tonight. We're done,
Not tonight. Well,
I just wanted to say, because I often phone in now, but Matt is absolutely correct. He's not being doom and gloom. It's time everybody woke up. It is truly time. When I was on the ship, the Pleiadian ship, some time ago now, they showed me the soul lights, and it was the most beautiful thing you've ever seen in I won't say in your life, but it was the most beautiful thing we've ever seen. I have since been up there, and the solar lights they're reducing. So, they achieved what they wanted to achieve on this planet, and the strongest will survive. And whether or not it's in this dimension or in another, the 2-3 world split is very, very real.
There is no fight between the strongest and the weakest. We are one.
Well, you've got the introduction of transhumanism now, Adam. So it's changed the playing field. But you know, it's where they came from originally, which was the Phantom Zone. These motherfuckers that were out to depopulate the planet, but we've got some good people that have come up with cures for that. So really, it comes back to see a distraction for what it is as a distraction. They can't stop us from evolving to where we should be. They can't stop us from, which is our birthright, to reclaim our place in the galactic community. That is exactly what is happening now. And I commend you for your work, and I commend you for your consciousness and what you are bringing to this planet right now, because it's what's needed, my friend. It's what's needed. So
well, as a soldier, having been one myself, I salute you. I understand what it's like to be one. And I will always be there for you. And the energy of peace will also be.
Yes.
It's something again, and you can go ahead and connect to me in your own dream state, or connect to ours wherever. We're not going to have time to do it here in the Matrix Mind, but I'll have to show you. We've met now, so we're connected, but we're connected. But my friend, I am privy to timelines and what can be and what will be, and I guess there is more to me than just a warrior. You know, I help many heal with my voice activation. I help many awaken, ready for their next stage, and even to the point where I'm continually helping people that are suicidal. So there is so much to this at this time, because Pleiadians like myself and that of my family are not going to leave people behind if we can help it. So we will be here constantly, as we have been for centuries. So it was lovely talking to you today, my friend. Lovely talking to you today. Yes, it was very exciting to speak to you as well.
Yeah. Imagine that.
How you going, Matt?
I'm doing all right. Imagine that. You guys actually connected. We got her. Yeah, got her going. I'm doing all right. All right.
Well,
Mr. Adam
I don't think they wanted the messages.
It's okay.
But anyway.
Got it going. Mr. Adam Twister, again, bro, thank you for calling the show. Thank you for being part of the Matrix here. Like always, man, nobody calls this show without saying something glorious for all of humanity and all of the wonderful people on this planet. Why don't you do that right now?
Ladies first.
Did you say ladies first? Oh.
Keep standing, everybody. Keep standing. Keep loving each other. Keep that frequency and that vibration going. They lost. We won. They've just got to catch up. I love you all.
Miss AJ, love you too. Take care of yourself. I'm going to blow you the hell out of here. Hang tight. Good night, Alexa.
Bye.
Bye. All right.
Yes,
your turn, Mr. Twister.
Yes, I want to go ahead and express my love for all of you as well. And I want to leave you with a little gift of consciousness, something I've shared with all of you energetically already, but I shall share it with you physically here. And this idea is how to connect to basically any consciousness you want to. This is a little trick that I thought if any of you were ever to want to channel my energy or call upon me, you need only think, what would Tat say? And you could do this with pretty much anybody else as well. You know, when you go ahead and ask that, you connect to their own consciousness. And the moment you connect to their own consciousness and feel them in your imagination, you're connecting to them. Remember, imagination and reality are one and the same. They are just as real. There is no division, really, between them. And you can integrate this completely into your experience to the point where living life in reality, as we call it, can become just like pure imagination. This is a state that Shalanima has very much achieved herself. This is a state that Aradif has also achieved. Being that they are the same source that we are, we all can do this as well. Love you very much once again, and we bid you adieu for this moment.
Thank you, my friend. Are you ready? Because I'm going to blow you the hell out of here, too. Adam Twister. Thank you, my friend. We're going to get you and Shalmaya? Is that right? Shalanima. Got to get you and Chris up in here together. Could you imagine that shit? Yeah, man. All right, Adam,
that.
Take care of yourself. You hear me? And we'll catch you on another version.
Tornado's moving off.
Later, buddies. Good night to you. Alrighty, my friends. It is definitely time. It is 2:46 a.m. here in the morning, and it is now Thursday morning. What was a Wednesday night, late night in the Matrix. Mr. Ground Pounder, Mr. Mike Pyle. Mr. Mike Pyle is with us. He's like, I'm gonna tune in later. We'll watch this on replay. Yes, Barbara. It is late here on the east side. Definitely enjoyed tonight. I had no idea that it was going to go like this. I surely didn't. I had no idea that we would get through tonight with absolutely no issues whatsoever other than the damn switchboard. But nevertheless, the human soul, random acts of kindness, and we got into consciousness as well as like galactic connectivity, soul experience. Pretty interesting. Tonight was definitely an interesting discussion. So thank you for being with me. I got to jump up really early in the morning. In fact, here in a couple hours, I'm going to get up and start my day with Parker Brackenridge. We got to run his ass to Cleveland, Ohio. But it's all right. I'm here with you now. Now is what matters. So I appreciate you being with me and allowing me to participate with you in your world and in your reality. Together, we've got this. I told you, we have got this. No problems. Hands down. All we got to do is look back at what was and say, man, we could have created something really bad, but we didn't. We're creating positivity. Try to avoid that negative propaganda, that negative political propaganda. And if you see it, laugh at it. You know, just laugh at it. Doesn't belong in my world. It doesn't belong in your world. Welcome to my Matrix, my friends. The Matrix Minds. You're part of it, and I'm part of your world. I appreciate you. I love you guys. Don't forget, question everything, even reality. Will catch you here on Friday night. Until then, take care of yourselves as well as one another. Good night, everybody. Be safe. Crank it up on your way out of here, Brainiacs. Good night, everybody. Peace and love you. No doubt about it. We're out of here. Yeah. Let's do this. One of the fastest growing talk shows on the internet. Welcome aboard the Matrix Minds. And Mr. Andy Katz, he says, crank that shit up, Brainiac. Let's do this. Conspiratorial shows on the internet, the Matrix Minds. Blow that speakers. Buckle up, everybody. Let's go. Paranormal, huh? Conspiracy, huh? Ufology, hidden Egyptology, and anything and everything we can get our hands on. Let's go. Welcome aboard. The Matrix Minds. The Matrix Minds. Your show.
Take the blue pills. show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. All I'm offering is the truth. Nothing. Stay in Wonderland. All I'm offering is the truth. Nothing. Stay in Wonderland. All I'm offering is the truth.
What is up, all my beautiful and gorgeous souls? I am Michelle Espinosa, otherwise known as the Shaman, through the Matrix Mind Media. So tell me, how many times have you wished that you had that special power of prediction? You know, to know what was going to happen before it actually happened and took place. To have some power and control over that situation before things came flying at you out of left field. The thing is, you actually can have that power. You can be aware of what's coming. Tune in to Astrology TV with me for Breaking the Cage every Sunday evening at 10 p.m. Eastern on the Matrix Mind Media. And I will go through the astrology and help put you on the right course and get you back in control of your own life. Love you guys.
This CBD fluid is a whole flower fluid extracted from the cannabis flower. We don't use any heat, butane, or chemicals when we extract, so we get all of the components of the plant. All the CBD, CBG, CBA, all the terpenes, all the flavonoids. This allows our body to absorb at 60 to 90% rather than the average of 6 to 10% absorption you would get with a CBD oil. Because our bodies are made up of mostly water and this is a fluid, it's highly absorbable so that you're getting 500% more nutraceuticals per dose. We also have this available in our CBD spray as well as a muscle rub with all kinds of botanicals. You're going to absolutely love it.
Check it out, Brainiacs. MatrixMinds.live/CBD. The CBD I use. Feel free again. Feel alive again.